Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here because it's the first time I come to Vietnam, and it's very nice to discover this country. I'm also very happy because I'm among friends with Jean-Philippe, Philippe, Truk, and I hope everyone in the room, we will know better each other's during the week. And I would like to thank the Conte University and the organizer to invite me to interact with you during this week. So I just prepared a few slides in order to address two objectives. First, to introduce what is my research institute, because you know what is CIRAD. They are working overseas in countries like Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, and etc. But my country usually stays within France. We don't go abroad, such our colleagues from CIRAD does. So that's why I felt it was interesting to just give you an overview of this institute. And I wanted also to present some ideas between what we call the twin sisters, the summer school or the winter school in Italy, and this training course here in Conte. Okay. So what is INRA? Well, it's a big organization for research in agriculture because it's considered to be the world's second greatest producer of publications in the field of agricultural sciences. We are something like 12,000 people working in France for INRA, with more than 8,000 people with a permanent staff. We have many PhD students, more than 500, in different fields. So we cover, of course, agriculture, agronomy, but also molecular biology, social sciences, economy, computer science, mathematics. You know, it's very broad areas. We have something like 250 laboratories, and we have something specific with nearly 50 experimental units that are spread all over the French regions. And we have 17 research centers that I will present. And the annual budget is something like 900 million euros. So where are we located? So here you have a small part of Europe. And so we are in Western Europe. And you have here the list of the 17 centers where we are located. So you can see that most of our centers are in France. Here we have the Corsica Island in the Mediterranean Sea. And you can see that we go from north to south, east, and west. And we have one center that is located in South America, close to Brazil, Guyana, and also the French West Indies in the Atlantic Ocean. So the main objectives of INRA focus on three main questions. The first one is agriculture. The second one is the protection of the environment. And the third one is the quality of alimentation, food. And we have several priorities. The first one is to feed France and the world. This institute was created just after World War II because we needed to increase food production for French families. And at the beginning of its history, INRA was dedicated into increasing yields in order to provide foods for French people. And I would say around the mid-80s or 90s, the main objective then changed a little bit, trying to take into account also environment production, because as we will see, this increase in yields was based on increasing inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides, and very soon we realized that it had a strong impact on the French environment in terms of rivers and water, soils, and also biodiversity. So that's why we have other type of research in order to better produce and protect the environment. We have keywords, of course, on climate change, sustainable production, We have many programs on breeding for plant or animal selection. We focus also on reducing pesticide and fertilizer dependence, and etc. So just some figures for you. I took the last year available, 2015. So for this year, more than 4,000 scientific publications were released, more than 350 patents, nearly 500 certificates of plant variety rights, 130 software programs, databases, and etc., and nearly 300 research contracts with private sectors, just to give you some size elements with regard to the institute. So if you want more information, you can just go on this website. There is an English version, and you can have a better view on what is my research institute in France. But I think what is nice is that we can collaborate with CIRAD because we share the same questions, but colleagues from CIRAD address this question in the tropical and subtropical areas where we're just focusing only on the French territory. Okay, so now if we go back to Toulouse, where is my research unit? I just wanted you, because now we are in Canto, so we can, yesterday we had a very nice visit of the environment and the parks and etc. So I wanted to share with you some overview of what is Toulouse, because maybe it's a little bit far away from here. So this is the main square of Toulouse. It's called Le Capitole. It's a very big place where people gather. Do you know this sport? Have you ever heard of it? It's called rugby, and it's very popular in southwest of France. And so if the Toulouse team wins, and they are quite good at rugby, people would gather there, and all the square is crowded. This is also a picture. I don't know if you can recognize what it is. Do you know what this picture is? It's a wall, and it's a typical wall of Toulouse because the houses are made with bricks and stones taken from the Garonne River. So the people used to take the local material in order to build sustainable houses. And it's very typical from the city. And also in France, it's called the Pink City because of the color of the bricks. If you look when you arrive by plane, you will call it the Pink City. This is also a very important plant for Toulouse. I don't know if you... so this is the Latin name. It's a pastel. And this flower was very useful for people in Toulouse in the Middle Age because many of the industry who developed here was based on this flower because on the plant you can get some special color because in the Middle Age it was nearly impossible to get the blue painting for the fabrics. And so people who were able to produce this pigment were getting richer and richer, so you can have very big and beautiful houses that are based on this plant, which produce some blue color, which was very difficult to create. Another very important plant and the symbol of Toulouse is this viola. We can make perfume and sweets, and it's also, if you see the soccer team, they play with this color. In purple because of this flower, which is a symbol of Toulouse. Toulouse is also a very big place in Europe for aerospatial industry. This is where one of the biggest Airbus headquarters is, and there is a strong activity with this industry. And the last picture, because I discovered that food was very important in Vietnam. So I thought you wanted to know what people eat in Vietnam. So we don't eat it every day, I have to say, because it's a little bit stuffy. It's called cassoulet, and it's made with white beans and sausage, pork, sometimes duck too. And it's very good. I hope that you will have the chance to visit us in Toulouse, and you can enjoy all that type of culture and food. Okay, so what are the origins of this training course? Well, you can see with my brother Jean-Philippe, we have a very hard time working hard and thinking how to promote agroecological crop protection.
Do you have such a beautiful office in Toulouse with the beach?
Yes, it's close to Toulouse. No, this is the location where Jean-Philippe is working now in La Réunion Island. It's also part of France, but it's more than 10,000 kilometers away from Paris. It's in the Indian Ocean, and this is the office of Jean-Philippe. We cannot see the books, but they are just here behind. We cannot see on the picture, but these books are there. Okay, so we had several ideas. The first ideas were to coordinate a book that was written in French with more than 55 authors in order to promote agroecological crop protection. But then we realized it's a little bit limited to write such a book only in French. So we edited a second version that you will receive as a support of this training course, and namely agroecological crop protection, where most of the ideas that we will be discussing during this week are presented. So these are the two first actions. Another one, it's still under construction. You can keep this website. It's called gascon.inra.fr, and it's an online resource in order to train students, researchers, and engineers and advisors with regard to the concepts and the methods of agroecological crop protection. So for the moment, if you go there, you will just see one page. So the website is in two languages, French, but also in English. So I hope before the end of the year, you will be able, if you're interested, to have other inputs with regard to agroecological crop protection. Okay, and because here it was very warm, that's why we thought, okay, maybe the first one it could be in winter, so we will be cooler, it will be easier. So that's why we did it with cold temperature in Italy. So this is the picture that already shown Philippe. And in order to be in a better balance, we decided also 1 month later to have another twin training course here in Canton. So this training course in Volterra was under the umbrella of a network that's called Endure, and you have here the website, which is a European network that gathered together, like you are doing here in Southeast Asia. You are gathering Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Here we are trying to do the same with European countries by making linkage between research organizations at the European level. And so usually every 2 years we organize such training courses with regard to sustainable crop protection. So this is the picture that you saw already. So in red you have the 3 lecturers that are common to the 2 twin training courses, Chris, that will arrive next Thursday. Of course, Jean-Philippe, the main pillar of ACP, myself in red. And we have here 2 participants who are in blue, because for this twin training course, they were not lecturers, they were participants. And I'm very happy that now these participants are now the bosses and the organizers and the lecturers on agroecological crop protection. So I think it's very nice to have this linkage between these 2 dynamics. For this training course, we had 18 countries that were represented. So most of the participants were coming from Europe, but some were also coming from Asia and Central and South America. For instance, this is one of the activities that we had in Italy, with some participants discovering a farm in agroecology. Another activity here where we discovered some nature yesterday on boats. Another very difficult activity, eating. So it was in a very nice Italian restaurant, and I felt that we really pay attention to what we're eating in Vietnam, and it's also very nice. Okay, so that was it. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to interacting with you during this training course. Thank you.